Hello, music educators. Bill Stevens here. And today we're going to talk about something really serious, the confirmation of Linda McMahon and the potential impacts on education and music programs. The recent confirmation of Linda McMahon as Secretary of Education makes a significant turning point for American education that could have far reaching implications for educators nationwide, including those in specialized fields like music education. Before discussing these potential impacts, let's examine first what happened on March 3rd, 2025, and what it might mean for the future of education in America. First, let's talk about the confirmation and context. On March 3rd, 2025, the Senate confirmed Linda McMahon as the new Secretary of Education in a strictly partisan vote of 51 to 45. The 76-year-old former WWE executive and co-founder now leads a department that President Donald Trump has explicitly stated he wants to dismantle. During her nomination announcement, Trump made his intentions very clear, stating he wanted McMahon to put herself out of a job. McMahon brings an unconventional background to this super important position. While she served for approximately 1 year on Connecticut's Board of Education and has been a trustee at Sacred Heart University for about 16 years, her primary career has been in the wrestling entertainment business rather than education. This limited experience in educational leadership has raised significant concerns among educational advocates about her qualifications. This limited experience in educational leadership has raised significant concerns among education advocates about her qualifications to lead such an important department. Let's talk about early changes and concerning developments. Even before McMahon's confirmation, the Trump administration had already begun making substantial changes to the Department of Education. The administration has terminated 89 contracts valued at $881 million, significantly reducing the Institute of Education Sciences, which tracks academic progress, and offered buyouts of up to $25,000 to department employees. These actions align with what appears to be a systematic effort to reduce the department's capabilities and scope. Now, during her confirmation hearing, McMahon attempted to reassure senators by stating her goal was to make the department operate more efficiently rather than completely defund educational programs. She committed to protecting Title I funding for low-income schools, Pell Grants for college students, and the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. However, she also acknowledged her support for Trump's mission to return education to the states. Now, the National Education Association and other civil rights organizations have expressed serious concerns about McMahon's confirmation. NEA President Becky Pringle warned that if McMahon's agenda is enacted, students will face larger class sizes, see fewer resources for at-risk students, the loss of vital services for students with disabilities, cuts to job training programs, increased cuts for higher education, and a rollback of basic civil protections. According to some estimates, more than 180,000 educators could lose their jobs if critical funding is cut. Current American education already faces significant challenges. The U.S. ranks 20th out of 41 nations in education according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and student test scores have plummeted since the pandemic. Instead of strengthening resources to address these challenges, the current direction seems to be reducing federal support and oversight. So now let's talk about specific concerns for music education. While not explicitly mentioned in recent news coverage, music education programs often face disproportionate impacts during educational budget constraints for several reasons. Music programs typically require specialized equipment, dedicated spaces, and educators with specific training. When schools face budget pressures, these programs are frequently viewed as supplementary rather than essential, making them vulnerable to cuts. The emphasis on returning to basics that McMahon mentioned in her confirmation hearing Focusing primarily on reading and math proficiency often comes at the expense of arts education, including music. This narrow focus on core academic subjects can marginalize music education despite its well-documented benefits for cognitive development, emotional well-being, and cultural enrichment. And third, Title I schools serving low-income communities often rely heavily on federal funding to maintain comprehensive educational offerings, including music programs. While McMahon has committed to protecting Title I funding, the broader destabilization of the Department of Education raises questions about effective oversight and implementation of these actual programs. So, the value at risk. What's at stake here extends beyond just administrative changes. Quality music education provides essential development opportunities for students that cannot be replicated elsewhere. Music education helps develop critical thinking, enhances mathematical understanding, builds confidence, teaches discipline, and provides cultural enrichment. In schools where these programs are cut, students lose access to these formative experiences. And furthermore, the potential loss of music educator positions represents not just job losses, but the dissolution of expertise and mentorship that takes years to develop. Music educators bring specialized knowledge that enriches school communities and student experiences, contributing to well-rounded education that prepares students for diverse challenges. And in conclusion, as we observe these developments, it's important to recognize that while administrative changes may seem distant from everyday classroom experiences, their impacts can be profound. The confirmation of Linda McMahon represents a significant shift in educational policy direction that warrants close attention from all who value comprehensive education, including music education. The coming months will reveal whether McMahon's reassurances about protecting essential funding translate into actual policy, or whether the broader agenda to dismantle the Department of Education will prevail. What remains clear is that educators, parents, students, and communities must remain vigilant and engaged in advocating for educational priorities that serve all students across all disciplines, including music education. Thank you for joining me. I'm Bill Stevens.